It's Eman here from the C-List Villains podcast, and today, Mailcall. Before we get started, do me a favor, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so that way you guys get notified anytime I drop any one of these new videos. Now, you guys know anytime I do my Mailcall videos, it's usually pre-recorded. I'm doing a little bit of production. I do little cuts, little edits here and there, but doing this one right here, we're doing it live because I have a special guest hanging out with me in the green room. Before I bring him out, man, you guys remember who he is. You guys know who he is. He's brought to us some classics like the last Ronin TMNT #1. He's brought to us Radiant Black #1. He's also brought to us a fantastic crossover variant cover. I'm talking about, and I like to say this specifically for Swin, but this is another one right here. Friend of the show, my boy, the man, not the myth, the actual genuine, big-hearted individual in the world, my friend, Aaron Bartling.
What's up, guys? What's up?
What is going on?
What's up,
my dude? Thank you so much for coming on and agreeing to doing this, bro. I was like, totally. I have an idea. I was like, I have a mail call video that I need to do. And I was like, you know what? Why not bring the artist of some of these books and let's talk a little bit about it.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, thanks for having me on, man. This is awesome.
I love it, dude. Like, and we're just talking about it. Aaron, you guys, has been like one of the coolest people that the C-List Villains has ever interviewed, like since day one. And I was telling Aaron, like the very first time we were like, oh, we're gonna interview the guy who did the TMNT cover. My heart was pounding all day at work. Dude, it's our first interview.
Oh shoot! How's this gonna go?
Don't mess it up! Oh my god! And dude, he was just hanging out, you guys. Aaron was so cool, brother. And I just want to say, like I said, you know, thank you so much for making my journey to this point really easy, because it was so fun and so easy to talk to you, man. Thanks.
Awesome, man. Yeah, no, thank you so much. I'm humbled to hear that. And, you know, it's been awesome to grow in our friendship the past couple of years and, you know, be able to come back on here. So I'm stoked, man. I think this is really cool.
One of these days, we need to do this. One of these days, we're gonna have to meet up at a con, and then we're gonna have to get some drinks right afterwards, and just.
I'm so down, man. So down. Let's do it. Let's do it.
You guys heard that here for Superstar wants to have drinks with me. Man, before we get started, Aaron, let's go ahead and say what's up to some people in the chat. My boys from the C-List Villains podcast are here. Hurry up, always late and shit. Yes, Red, I'm here.
What's up, Red?
My friend Brian Station. My friend Brian over there. My boy Nick from Nick's Kicks and Comics. Hey, yo, g'day, y'all. What's going on, Nick?
What's up? What's up?
You know, Jade is up in the house. My boy Jade. Who else? Who else is here? That's about it. That's all that's hanging out. And
cool.
And it's like I said, it's been a journey, and I'm trying to not redo, but kind of change up my channel. And I want to be able to bring these specials right here to people who actually like watch the show and try to bring guests. Like if I can bring guests on, like I think that's just a really cool thing. And you know, doing it in the middle of the day when people actually are like either at lunch or
yeah.
Why not? Why not? Hey, why not? By the way, you see that? You see this crossover right here? That's an Aaron Bartling #1.
Crossover #1.
Nice. I want to just slight flex right here.
Dude, I'm so glad you got a 9.8 on that too.
I know, me too. Not just that, but it's remarked by the
got the remark. Oh man,
I love it too, because like you're like, hey, like you hit me up on Facebook, you're like, hey Eman. I was like, what's up? He's like, look, and then you just laid it out. You're like,
yes, dude. Yeah,
man, so awesome. I was like, dude, that was so dope. So I don't want to take up too much of your time. My mail call videos are typically about 15-20 minutes long, and I know I can ramble. So let's get this shit started.
Let's do it, man. Let's do it.
All right, so the first one right here, this one comes to us from Vault Comics. This I'm a fan of this series, you know, and I don't know if you're reading it, Aaron, but like when I saw that it was announced, I was like, okay, you know, it's a big name behind it. Let me pick it up.
Yeah, yeah.
And I started reading it. I was like, dude, this is actually really good. Like, what's going on? And it took a different take on. And it wasn't like it's not like a zombie type, but it's total like end of the world.
Yeah, exactly.
And I was like, all right, and more end of the world stuff. And it's by Scott Snyder. I was like, come on, like, this, you can't go wrong with this. So you ended up announcing, I think, on the Bartling Bunch Facebook page that you were releasing this cover right here, right? Is that?
Yeah, I think I did. Yeah, I did the Bartling Bunch, and then I did. I think I did it pretty much everywhere else. I'm pretty sure, but yeah, no, I was super excited to be able to work on it because I know Noctera has a huge following, and I don't know if you heard, but I think it might get optioned too.
Yeah, it was optioned, so everyone's like trying to scoop up all the number ones.
So that's super cool to be able to have a part in something that's gonna move into film and stuff. So it's exciting, man. So.
Aaron already kind of gave it away. He said the word Noctera, so we're gonna go. Let me go ahead and introduce it.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. It so this was the Aaron Bartling. This was your Comics Vault Black Bill.
Blacktop Bill.
Blacktop Bill.
Yeah.
Right here, the one shot.
Yeah.
Now this, for the people, because I read this one right here, so this happens in between, I think, Noctera number 6 and 7. So this is just a little bit of a backstory behind Blacktop Bill, where he comes from, and it's pretty horrific, man. Like this one was kind of crazy. So Aaron, if you can, man, could you talk to us a little bit about the cover? Like, what was the inspiration behind it? Like, why? How did you come up with this one right here?
Yeah. So to be honest, I didn't know a ton about the story. I mean, I know the series is super successul, but yeah, I didn't know like a ton about it. But I was able to get a PDF, and then I kind of went through the book, and the character is really cool, and obviously they didn't go a ton into who Blacktop Bill was, but just from like what I gathered from reading the issue, I was like, man, like this guy seems like pretty intense, and I loved, like, I think even though it's funny because like it's such a simple character design, but yet it's so strong, like, and it's so unique and cool just to have an all black silhouette, and then all you see is the teeth, like that creepy eerie smile. And I love it, man. And go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh yeah. Sorry, this coffee's jacking me my throat. But it was super unique character, and I was like, man, this is gonna be fun. And so I just started sketching some ideas, and I just thought it would be super iconic to have, like, from the comic I read, there was a lot of fighting going on and like explosions in the forest and all this stuff. And so I was like, it'd be really cool to have a shot where it's kind of, you're slightly looking up at him, so he's a little bit more imposing, a little bit more intimidating. And then, I thought it'd be cool to have like, a rifle slung over his shoulder, and like, he's holding the head of this, one of the aliens or whatever, the creatures.
Yeah. And
then, just standing on top of a bunch of skulls and bones, and like, and then having the explosion in the background. I was like, I really wanted his silhouette to pop, like I really wanted it to be a strong silhouette, because that's what his character is, the silhouette. And so I was like, okay, I need to have a really bright background. So how can I do that? And I was like, well, if I do an explosion and there's like pieces of glass and shards flying all over, that'll be perfect to really give that strong silhouette. So it's kind of it's a fairly straightforward process, and the retailer loved the idea, and then so I sent him the sketch, and he was like, dude, that'd be perfect, let's go for it. And then excuse me, it was actually kind of last minute, but in the cover you see the what's the main character's name again? I'm trying to remember her name.
Dang it, what's her name? Reagan. I think it's Reagan.
Okay, yeah, I think that is right. So I meet with one of my art mentors a lot, and he, just to get like critique or feedback on some of the covers that I'm working on, and he was like, "Well, what if you?" What was it? What is it?
Val. Her name's Val.
Val. There we go. Yep, Val. So he was like, if you, what was that?
Wrong book.
Yeah.
Val.
Yeah. There we go. So he was like, what if you did like something where, the glass pieces are flying and then you see her reflection in one of the glass shards, kind of with this, like she's, she's like in a battle with him, or she's, getting ready to face off with him. And I was like, oh man, that'd be perfect, just to kind of incorporate her into it, since she's one of the main characters as well. So, but yeah, no, I had a blast doing the cover. Super fun. It was fairly straightforward, it wasn't a lot of like thinking going into it, but and it just kind of progressed really organically. So, but yeah, it was fun, man. Super
nice. Fun. So I have a request here from the chat right here. So if Aaron could send me some dope Radiant Black and Last Ronin remark, that would be great. That's from my friend Nick.
Let's do it, man. Let's make it happen.
What's going on, Raimundo?
Whoa, Ray, what's up?
Oh man, my boy Steve from Team Nerd Herd. What's up, Primo? He's listening. Yeah, listen. Don't watch. I don't want you to be unsafe. Man. Keep an eye on the road. Watch this on the rewind. Be safe.
Yeah.
Well, let's get into another one real fast. Okay. Now, I want to open this one up right here. This is not an Aaron Bartling cover, but it's going to lead into an Aaron Bartling cover because I think it's appropriate to get this one right here opened up because, well, there's something big happening here within the next couple of months regarding this property, and I'm super juiced to be able to bring this up. Now, I saw friends who were at C2E2 this year, and they're like, "Oh yeah, they have this, they have that. This vendor's got this." And at the time, I was like, "You know what, buddy?" Because I have another friend named Aaron. I have a friend.
I'm supposed to be the only Aaron, bro.
I'm sorry. His name is Roger.
Oh, Roger. Okay.
Yeah.
Good. No, yeah, it's Roger. For sure.
Roger. Yes. No, he hits me up in the morning. He's like, "Hey, yo, Eman, like, look what they got." And he sends me pictures of some books that they had at C2E2. I was like, I can't get everything, but let me get those two. So he ended up sending me a couple of copies of this book, like a fourth printing of this book. And I was like, but I really wanted the other ones. I was like, you know what? I can't get them all. So then this publisher ends up having a sale. Like a few weeks later, I was like, you know what? I can actually cop these right now. And so it was cool because I got a little bit of a deal because I just had to pay for the books, no shipping. It was like, all right, cool. So I actually bought these books for the exact price that they were selling them for, and I didn't have to pay no shipping costs. I was like, hell yeah, that's dope. Perfect. So whenever that happens, of course, it's a win. It's for sure a win.
Oh yeah.
So they really packed these right here.
They weren't messing around.
Thank you guys for taking
shipping.
care. Sometimes, man. Sometimes the packing can go a little too far. Sometimes,
Yes. Yes. Sometimes people send me stuff. Like they'll send me their Ronin medals, and it's like breaking into like the friggin' White House to get that bad boy. It's just like, oh my gosh.
And then you're trying to be extra careful too. You're like, I can't.
I don't want to hurt this. Yeah.
Gotta do it super delicately, and otherwise they're gonna shoot me. And so I had to pick these up because I was like, you know what, to me it's worth it because I'm actually a big fan of the series. I actually ended up getting directly from Aftershock. I got the We Live one, the mask covers.
Oh, those are dope.
These
are so sick.
I really, really, really enjoyed these. I really like these, and cool. I just got a good good price on them when Aftershock was selling them like on their happy hour one day. I was like, you know what, this is worth it. I'm a fan of this. I want this in my collection. So I picked these up for like $80. That included shipping. So I was like, this is worth it to me. So I got these right here. And my We Live collection, like this right here, has been like one of my favorite series over the last couple of years. And I'm that collector where I'm collecting like as many We Live books right now. And it's just a fantastic read. Like you just don't know what's happening. You know, there's this journey, there's these kids, they're saving humanity, they're sacrificing themselves. And then at the end of the book, you see this cocoon-like transformation where these kids who are supposed to save humanity on a different planet end up being the beings that they need to be to save the planet here without actually leaving. So it was a story full of hope and yet despair, because you thought it was going to go in one direction. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. It was one of my absolute favorite reads. And then now I'm collecting all these We Live #1s, which gets into my final one right here. I want to flex. This came directly from Aaron Bartling. That's right, y'all. Yeah. This one came from my friend Aaron.
You hear that, Roger? Yeah.
So Roger. You know, there are times where the, you know, you guys, there are times when the artists themselves would be like, hey, you guys, I got extra copies of this, I got extra copies of that. You know, I being a fan of Aaron's work and then being a fan of We Live, I was like, I need this one right here for sure. And for me, it felt good being able to actually purchase it directly from you. Yeah. You know, I actually bought this one right here directly from Aaron because he was like, I have some extra copies of this. Who wants them? And I was like, I need this one right here. Like, I'm a fan. And I was like, dude, like this series is growing. This series is blowing up, but it's also, again, like I mentioned, this is like one of my favorite series that has come out over the last few years. And when a friend actually is like, look, I got a cover and it's people are buying it, I'm like, hell yeah, dude, I want. Yes. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh no. There we go. Oh man, when you were like, hey, I got a We Live cover, I was like, I need that in my life for sure. So I ordered it from you. I got all these books like a few weeks ago. I just had to take a break from posting for a bit, but when you posted this, I was like, I want this in my life, and I need your input on this. And here, We Live #1, Virgin by Aaron Bartling. We have Tala, we have Whatitdo right there, and I absolutely love the design that the Inaki brothers gave to Whatitdo and his little helmet. Yeah. Now, so cool. This is very touching considering what the story is, Aaron. You know, like I said, it's full of despair. It's full of, you know, the world ending, and Whatitdo is in charge pretty much. He's one of the 5,000 kids that has this special thing on his arm to save the world. Mm-hmm. This I felt was super touching because Tala, in the story, she actually found it, and she could have been like, no, I'm going to take the bracelet, but instead she actually gave it to her brother. And in the story, she's actually on the journey to take him to a beacon that's supposed to take him to a different world to save humanity. Uh-huh. So the journey is her protecting him. This image of a brother and sister in a tree is very heartwarming to me. It really, really is. Do me a favor. Can you explain, you know, this one right here also? Like, what brought this idea up? Like, where did you get this one here from?
Yeah, so I mean, you know the story way better than I do. And actually, when when I was contacted to do the cover, I wasn't able to get, if I remember right, I don't think I got, usually I get the PDFs, so I can read through the story and see, what it's about and, who these characters are. I don't remember getting it for We Live. But, I was able to at least get like a premise of, the story. And from what it sounded like and the way you're describing it, which is, way better than you can, say, but it's very, like heart-wrenching. It's very emotional. It's definitely a really powerful story. And, hearing about like, if am I correct in saying that their mother like died as well?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
The parents did die. I'm gonna totally spoil this. That yes, they died. It's just them two.
Yeah, so it's just them two, and I was just like, man, like this is this is pretty heart-wrenching. Like imagine these little kids and they're in this like apocalyptic world, and they're trying to traverse through and survive. And so going into it, I was like, like I try to do with most of my characters, it's like, okay, the story comes first, like that's the most important thing, and the emotional aspect is also comes first, and so I just had this picture of, I did a few sketches like I usually do, and hey, what's up, brother? I usually do a few sketches, and so I sent it to Steve, and he was like, "Oh, like that's awesome! Like that's gonna be great." And I just had this picture, of you see this, city that's all broken apart and apocalyptic looking, and everything's all overgrown with greenery and shrubs and all this stuff. And so I thought, man, like it'd be really cool to have their silhouette, again, I love the silhouettes, and getting a strong read on that, and have them just sitting on this, fallen over tree. And, but the main thing to nail though, for me was getting their expressions down. And this cover was actually really difficult to do because Steve and I had talked a lot, and we were saying like, obviously the cover needs to be good, but like everything in the surrounding the characters needs to be good, but the main focal point needs to be like their faces and like what they're experiencing and going through. And so he was like, especially with, what's the girl's name again? It's
Tala.
So with Tala, he was like, she needs to look like, she's got that like 1,000-yard stare, where she knows that death is coming for her, and like she knows what her fate is going to be, but she needs to stay strong for her brother and be there for him. And and it's like, how do you illustrate that, like a little girl, to try to capture that emotion of like, it was a tough balance between her looking strong, and like she was going to accomplish a mission, and then at the same time you feel like her sadness too, like you feel the weight of what she has to go through. And then having what's the little boy's name? He's
Whatitdo.
Okay, and having him just kind of looking down at his helmet and just feeling sad. I kind of was thinking like, he's like, I miss my parents, or and like what is our future going to look like, and just to kind of have this moment, this moment of them, experiencing a lot of darkness, and so it was tough, man. It was actually a really hard cover for me because we went back and forth. There were so many iterations that I sent him, and he'd be like, no, I'm not feeling her face quite yet. It's not there, so I can't tell you like how many times I feel like I rework it. I just like rework it. At first too, he was like, her face looked too old. Like I guess she looked like a teenager a little bit too much, like or like in her early 20s or something. And he's like, no, she needs to look younger, like a young girl.
Yeah.
And so that was really tough. I had to keep reworking her, proportions and everything. And so side note too, it was pretty funny. So when I did this cover, I was actually on vacation. and I was staying at the beach when I was working on this cover. I had my computer with me and everything, so I was working on the cover there. And funny little side note, my daughter and my son were actually the reference models for the piece. So it worked out perfect. Like they, we brought some clothes that were kind of similar to like what they had, kind of like baggy jacket and baggy pants, almost like, kind of like that sci-fi-esque kind of clothing, like almost like spacesuit or something. Mm-hmm. And so we brought those, and my wife brought her camera, and what's up, guys? And we went out and we found this tree, this really cool tree that was actually kind of in the same, like fallen over, slumped kind of look.
Yeah.
And so we propped them up on the tree, and told them to, I put her arm around him, and I kind of told them like, okay, you guys try to look sad, try to look, like you're looking down or something. And so it was cool, man. It was fun to have them be, the reference models for it. And then it worked out perfect. Like even for the time of day, it was like, it was middle of the day, so it was nice and sunny, and it was cool. So it was a really fun cover to work on. It was challenging, but it was really cool to go back to a cover that really like try to push that emotion, and some covers I don't, that, like, I'm trying to think off the top of my head. I can't think of anything, but some covers like aren't going to really push that emotion a lot, but mm-hmm. with this one, that's what the whole cover was about, was trying to tell a really sad, endearing kind of moment. And so that's what was fun for me to do. So it seemed like people really received it well, and they loved it. At New York Comic Con, it sold out, and
nice.
So it was awesome. So
I have so many, like I'm not a huge collector like how other guys are. They're chasing all the number ones of something. They want all the Hulk 181s. They want all the Hulk, they want all these big books. And honestly, I just started collecting like as much as I did not too long ago. So I don't feel like it's my place to go back and try to get like the first appearance of a Wolverine. Right here, this book right here, I feel like because I'm here from the beginning, I feel like I don't want to say that. I feel like I am allowed to collect as many of these ones right here and feel okay about it, because I am a fan of this. I'm a fan of this book from the very beginning. And you did capture, and that's what I loved about it. You did capture the emotion almost precisely as to how it is, the tone of the book, and that's why I was like, I want this in my collection. So I have it now, and I'm still on awesome. Looking for all of these. We Live's number one, and these are the ones I'm going to begin, and I'm glad that I'm able to add yours to my collection, Aaron. It's fantastic.
Thank you. Yeah, no, it's so fun, man.
Well, I'm going to call it a show, you guys. Aaron, thank you, my friend. Thanks for, agreeing to coming by and hanging out and talking a little bit about the covers that you came up with. Like, these are your covers. And right there.
Crossover, yeah.
That's so funny, because I was on vacation myself. When I saw, like, all right, I think this is Trinity? Was it Trinity?
That was Comic Mint.
Comic Mint. I was on no, I wasn't on vacation. It was a little weekend getaway with my girlfriend. It was our anniversary, and we went up to Lake Tahoe. And like we stopped by, we were walking around the lake, and I looked at my phone, and it was like Comic Mint's about to drop the Aaron cover off. I walked away from her. I was like, let me just get some fresh air, babe. She's like, okay, she's all enjoying, the outdoors. I'm on my phone, like, I need to buy this.
I need this crossover now.
Don't look at my phone. Don't look at my phone.
Wi-Fi, don't fail me now.
Don't do it. And it did it. I think I was able to purchase 2. And it's just one of those things that you mentioned. You guys, everyone in the chat, anyone watching this live, anyone watching on the get a job like Aaron where you can work from a beach on vacation, because that's the life. It's the
dream. It's the dream right there.
That is the life right there. What's going on? People
showing
up here,
guys?
So that's it for the show. Once again, Aaron, thank you so much for joining us, my friend. I really appreciate it. I'm gonna have to have you back on the show. And I have an idea. There's an idea that I have with Aaron where we're both playing like Halo and we're just shooting the shit.
Yeah,
and kind of nerding out. So one of these days, I'm gonna try to get him to do that right there. All right. Again, that's it for this show, you guys. Thanks so much for showing up. Thanks to Aaron for showing up. Thanks to everyone in the chat for showing up. Until the next issue. Deuces.
Thanks again for listening to another episode of the Sealess Villains Podcast, your cultivators of the comic culture. Make sure you follow us on Facebook and email us at sealessvillains@gmail.com. You can also leave us a voicemail or text us at 209-975-7597. Be sure to join Luke Week's Facebook group, Rare Keys and First Appearance Comics. And you can follow us on our 2 Instagram accounts, Sealess Villains and Sealess Villains Podcast. Lastly, follow the villains on their separate IG accounts, at Luke Weeks, at Sealist Villainous Red, at Sealist Eman, and I am at AJ the Comic Collector. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you all next episode.